we were seeing these scenes. And, you know, I guess it's a money deal. These big real estate people, the insurance companies and all, probably tied together. Probably some of them own both. But I guess they have the money to easily rebuild this because they make so much of it during the tour season. And again, it's normally sand there, but it's not like over the dunes or anything like that. It's right on the beach. But also, guys, the construction is terrible for this type of structure this close to that much wind. First of all, the stilts are not designed right. And then the walls of this are so flat, and you got the gable roofs that catch the wind. But what happened just a few moments after this was it just fell right over into that other house. And so again, I guess they've got the money to handle it. You can see the real estate sign there. But then you think about all the windows broken on the beach. You think about, and there on the building that collapsed, there was all of the air conditioning equipment lined up on that side, on the little deck and things like that. So there's a lot of debris on the beaches and the streets too as this washes in and out. So guys, if you don't do anything else, if you're going to walk on the beach, watch for debris after the storm, glass, things like that. But again, very poor construction. There's so many shapes that are designed to handle the wind. Why did they do that? It just doesn't make sense. Now, this is another aerial shot from yesterday. And like I was saying, right here is you got this hump of the beach right here, the high point. Once the waves come over, they just wash down these streets again. Look, this is going all the way, looks like a couple blocks here at least. And again, look how far away the storm was then. Now it's getting closer now. And we're going to take a look at some of the webcams live. Now let's look at Nag's Head just a moment, guys. This is Sunset Pavilion, but it's also Jeanette's Pier. And this is what we have. You can see it's not that rough right now this far out in the water, but as it gets close to the beach, the waves are coming up high. And right now they may be in low tide. But remember, the storm surges were inclusive of the tide as we were reporting it yesterday. But right now, not too bad. You wouldn't want to be walking in it. You wouldn't want to be swimming in it. People will drown in this stuff. And guys, you're looking at what they call frying pan. They have an ocean cam up there. And right now, I think it's privately owned. They're raising funds to keep it going, keep the uptake on it, and things like that. And but as really kind of a research platform, weather platform, and other things, I'm not sure everything they're doing with it. But let's take a look at the webcam from there. Now, this is from up on that flat platform we were looking at. Very cloudy. You can hear the birds. I'm sure there's a lot of them there because it's their only place to land for quite a while there. But again, you can hear the wind. You can see the skies, some chemtrails up there above those clouds. But those are pretty big rollers. They don't look like it. And again, things are going to change. This particular webcam, if it can stay on, and I think everything's solar powered out there and generator powered, if it can stay on during the storm passage, you'll get some amazing images. I remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, watching, and some of you guys saw it, that American flag getting ripped to pieces, but it hung in there through the entire storm. Listen to that. Very peaceful, isn't it? It wouldn't be a bad vacation spot, just not during hurricane season. Going to the Outer Banks, I think this is what they call Corolla Beach, guys. You can see this guy's, he's going to enjoy this cool weather. I don't blame him. Before the storms come in, even if it doesn't matter where it's at, if you've ever been on the beach, as they are approaching, before it gets dangerous, there's an energy in the air. It's cool. There's a nice wind blowing, and you can just feel it. It's something about it. It's like electricity in the air. I've done it so many times, and it never changes. It's always the same way. You can feel that energy moving ashore, and you can see some pretty good rain out here, guys. So if you're in the area, make sure you got that in your plans. Have an umbrella or have an easy way to get out of the rain, because you definitely got some showers offshore there. You can see the sun hitting that. If few people out there, they're staying. I don't see anybody actually out in the water yet, and that's really good. I'm not sure if they're patrolling it right now, but they definitely do not want you there. That's a beautiful shot right there, and this is going to change. Now this is how it should be. See this high bank, and then the houses built on the backside. You know, you can all. It's just some people don't want to make that walk down there and to the beach, but really, it's not good for the habitat or anything else to build on that. Just doesn't make sense. It's all about greed. It's a beautiful scenery during most of the year to sit right there that close to the water. But then you've got a lot of cleanup and a lot of cost. But if you own the insurance company, like I said, and the real estate company, you can handle it. Now, in the video last night, the last update, I mentioned that the moisture from up north along the New York coast and a little further is going to be pulled into the storm, and that all of this northern Atlantic coast is going to get hit really hard by flooding. This is Atlantic City, and there's not a lot of people out. You can see the ocean out here. Waves are up just like we're talking about. Looks like tide is low right now. A few people out walking. Beautiful area. Been there forever. It's kind of a landmark. But again, you're going to have to watch it all the way up through here. It's not just the Outer Banks of North Carolina that's going to be affected. From there north through Virginia, D.C., and much further up. So it's going to be, again, a lot of moisture raking it as the eye is setting offshore, keeping the engine ramped up and going strong. Now, this update from the National Hurricane Center has been out about an hour, and here's what we got. Erin is now a Cat 2 at 100 miles per hour. That's a good thing. We don't want it strengthening. It has not touched the Gulf Stream yet, and that's something to think about. It's picked up forward speed, going at 13 miles per hour. Pressure's 948 millibars. Again, still a powerful storm, and you see what it was doing to the Outer Banks yesterday, and it was a little further down. Second storm, you got a 60% chance. Looks like it's going to follow Erin up through the opening in the high pressure. This storm is a 40% chance of development. And what they're saying, you can't see it all, but I'll read it. It says, a tropical wave located to the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce a concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear marginally favorable for additional development over the next day or so while the system moves westward at around 15 miles per hour, and a short-lived tropical depression could form by the end of the week. Environmental conditions are expected to become unfavorable for further development. You're probably going to start getting some shear, some dust, and a lot of high pressure building. Now, this is the storm surge warning graphics. I'll pull it up, but purple or the dark pink here is storm surge warnings. This light purple is storm surge watches. We don't have any watches. It's all warnings now, and they've extended out. So anywhere, guys, along the Outer Banks, now you're under this warning. You don't really want to stay there. And it extends out. It was only up to right in this area, and it was watches, and you got the 2 to 4 foot surge that, again, is inclusive of the tide. And I want to point out something else. As the storm approaches, the waves are going to be coming in from this side, and this ridge right here, which actually indicates probably where the continent extended to before we had a lot of ice melt that took the glacier sheets off North America. This was land out there. But when those waves get in here, the high ones, and the storm really starts to kick up through this area, you're going to see this cause a rise, and then when they get right up close to that very shallow beaches that you're seeing, they go way out. And that's going to add on top of the storm surge. You're talking about 2 to 4 foot right through the middle, and then 15 to 20 foot waves that's on top of. A lot of damage to those homes, and this is not a direct hit, and that's a good thing. And this is the updated rip current information this morning, all the way from South Florida, guys, up to Connecticut right there. You see that? The red is a high chance, and it's not going to change. Let's go to tomorrow right there. Let it populate. Just about the same thing. And you've got moderate risk on the west coast of Florida and in the Panhandle, all the way over through Mobile Bay, right in there. So again, got a lot of turbulence out there, a lot of energy building up in the Gulf of Mexico because of the storm and all along the Atlantic coast. Now, this is what they're putting up as a map. 8 a.m. this morning right here, and that's basically parallel, pretty close to the Florida-Georgia line, a little further south, not much, and then continuing a hurricane all the way to here. See that? Still the H, but they're calling that subtropical. But again, the tracking is not going to change that much. Like I said last night, in the last couple of days, it gets pretty accurate. There's Bermuda. Those are tropical storm warnings and watches, and the blue is tropical storm warnings. That's all of the Outer Banks right there. It's most of all of North Carolina. And then tropical storm warnings up going north there all the way up to, it looks like, around Long Island. But the dark brown is hurricane force winds. The light brown are tropical storm force winds extending out that far. And so you can see you're going to get raked pretty good. And like I said, you got two things here. The good one is it's not making landfall. The bad part is it's staying fully powered through the entire northern transit. Now, Fox has got everything pretty much matching the same thing. Now, notice one thing. We're at 105 here, Category 2. And then it goes to 110 miles per hour right there, Thursday, 2 p.m. And I think it's feeling the outer edges of the Gulf Stream. Again, 110, if you get above that, you're at Cat 3. So, North Carolina, watch out. All of this East Coast, this thing is going to strengthen up to just under a Cat 3. You haven't felt that yet, but you're about to. So take all cautions you can. As soon as you can get away from the beach, get away from it. Go ahead and get a room, watch a Weather Channel, or watch YouTube, just like you're doing now. Whatever you got to do, don't risk your life. And today's really your last day to do much, because by daylight in the morning, things are going to be a little different. Now, this came out 28 minutes ago at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Everything's in such a tight bundle right here. Pretty obvious where the track is going to go. I don't think anything can happen at this point in the game to change it. All the models are showing the opening in the high pressure and everything. So this is pretty much what we have. Tracking is less important now than preparation. Now, they had also talked about the expansion of the storm getting a little stronger and a little larger. And this is the European model, and I'm going to play it through slow. This is pretty much where we're at now. And as we go forward, watch the size increase. Just move it forward. See that? Right as it's offshore, right kind of north of the Outer Banks, it's at its largest size. And that's just going to... That's crazy for it to get stronger at this latitude and wider. But that's exactly what they've been talking about for a few days, and that's what the European model is showing. Again, it's going to be on the 1 mile difference in a Cat 3 as it's getting very close to you guys. Now, let's look at windy just a moment. We're getting 116 mile per hour gust right in this section. But what I want to point out, see right here, you got 80-degree water, 81 degrees, 84 off of Oracle. That's kind of the warmest water that the storm's going to run across. But right here at 78, what is that telling us? It's 84 back here. It's telling us that the hurricane is doing its job. It's cooling the ocean surface, the very large area of cooling, by the way, and it's going to skirt up and cool the entire area. That is the mechanism, again, that keeps us alive, and it's very important that it happens. That's why I hate to see that type of construction on the beach, because these storms are going to increase in intensity. as things heat up. You know what I'm talking about. Again, that's today. And let's just move it forward. This is saying 10 a.m. Now, let's go to 6 p.m. this afternoon. Notice the winds have picked up 129 gusts there in the southern sections. This is 10 p.m. tonight. Note, keep your eyes up here. 84 still, the warmest water anywhere. 77 behind it. 80 here, 82. Let's move forward into Thursday. This will be in the morning at 2 a.m. Still getting that heavily northern surge across the islands. See that? And tropical storm force winds are into this area. We're going to move forward. Thursday at 2 p.m. That's tomorrow afternoon. Let me move this wind speed indicator in here. Down in this area, 124 mile per hour gust, 128. That's going to be pushing that water 135, 136. You're getting on up there, guys. And let's move forward. Now, this will be 9 p.m. tomorrow night, starting to pull away from you guys. See that? That's great. But up here, this moisture is going to rake across Atlantic City, Virginia Beach. You're still getting it. You're just not right off in as far as North Carolina. You're not right in the brunt of it. You're in the other sections. But look at Massachusetts and Boston. Boston, notice the way that this section of Massachusetts extends out. It's a big catch right there. So you're really going to have some waves and tides piling up on you and surge in this area. Let's move forward. Now this will be Friday at midnight. Move this. Let's see what we got in here. 111, 116, 21. And even though it's pulling out, it's still showing it will be a Cat 2. We're going to move forward. This is Friday, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You're getting a break in this area. But look up into this area. This is what I was talking about yesterday. It's going to pick up all this moisture. And again, Boston, Connecticut, Long Island. We're going to see some flooding. I don't think there's any way to avoid it. This is 10 p.m. Friday. Look at this. You're starting to get a break, guys. Virginia Beach, you're still getting that northerly flow. But let me back this out. Look how the storm has expanded in size. Just going through this, guys, kind of looking at it and sharing what I'm seeing with you. It's not a real technical video. And here we're 129, 130 mile gust right in there. Again, well above Cat 3 gust. And let me just move it on forward just a little. This is Saturday, 7 a.m. in the morning. Pull it back. St. John, Sydney, Nova Scotia. You're kind of in the gun there. And we're just going to move it forward. I'm going to leave it out like that. That is Saturday morning, or Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Sunday, 3 a.m. Pretty much pulling offshore. Let's jump up to Monday. It's moving very fast. You guys in the UK, notice that? This is Ireland right there. And that's Monday. You're getting raked on the outside. Let's go to Tuesday, 5 a.m. The storm's trying to pull north just a little bit here. Let's come back. Yes, trying to pull north and dropping south. It does not look like, at this point, the entire storm will rake the UK. But Spain, you may be about to get a lot of rain, and that's not something you see a lot. But again, the convergence zone, or the intertropical convergence zone, has moved north. And the other night I did a video on that. Then after the video, I went back and measured. We went from 2018 up to now. It was 300 and about 50 something miles that it had moved in those 7 years. And they were telling us last year 151 mile movement, but in those 7 year period, over 350 miles. And that's why you're seeing the greening in the deserts in this area. Now let's take a wide satellite view of the entire U.S. You've got a front moving up through the northeast. It's already giving you a little bit of rain. You're going to get a little bit more. Not much happening in other places. Texas, you're starting to see some moving south. But here is Erin, and the outer bands, are already throwing up some cloud cover along the east coast. You see that? very tight wrapped center, and the eye has reformed. Now a little closer and infrared images. You can see very well wrapped center with an eye exposure now. And these are the outer bands, and they're reaching. Now this is, again, just wind and the higher waves along the beach like we were just seeing. But you're already starting to see the effect here. And so it's going to continue now for the next 2 or 3 days. You guys are going to be kind of under the gun. And again, it's, if for no other reason, 2 or 3 days of cooler temperatures. And I've seen in the comments where some of you guys up in here hadn't had that much rain, and it's been very hot. So count your blessings, but be safe. Now, just a little bit closer look. Look at the eye right there. Formed very well this morning. You tell it's strengthening, guys, and they're talking about up to 110. Again, I'm going to say it. If it doesn't bump to a Cat 3, I'll be very surprised. Why? Because it's getting into warmer water. And it's doing its job, but it's going to be stronger than it is now. Powerful storm. And changing this to the NT microphysics, check it out. You can see the eye very clearly here, and the upper level clouds, guys. That's what we were seeing. And they are actually starting to get very close to the outer bank now. So the rain's going to set in. You're going to have just waves of it coming in and out. And so again, all you can do is stay safe at this point. Make sure if you're still anywhere in the area, that you have evac plans already in place, not a last minute try to get in traffic on some bridge somewhere and get stuck, okay? Because things are going to go downhill from here. Now let's look at the water vapor loop one time. Again, here's your center circulation. Maybe hard to see on this one here. This is the Outer Banks right here of North Carolina. A lot of moisture coming in, guys. Prepare for that. Not only are you going to have the water from the storm surges, but this water from the rain too. And a lot of this is going to change on the Outer Banks as far as those houses right on the beach. But guys, watch for updates this afternoon. Again, in about an hour, we're going to take a look at Austin, Texas. So join us there. It's a heads up. Be safe.